Detective Duck by Henry Winkler and Lynn Oliver. Illustrated by Dan Santat. The Case of the Strange Splash. Book 1. Chapter 1. Willow Feathers was the only duck in the world whose father was a beaver. Most ducks are raised by ducks, just like most snails are raised by snails, and most giraffes are raised by giraffes. But not Willow. Her father was Beaver McBeaver, and the two of them lived in a dam he had built on Dogwood Pond. When she was just an egg, a strong wind blew Willow from her mother's nest. Day after day, the egg floated downstream until it got snagged in the sticks of Beaver McBeaver's dam. There, Willow hatched and grew into a fluffy duckling with a yellow bill as bright as a raincoat. Beaver McBeaver named her Willow after his favorite tree, and Feathers because, unlike him, she was covered in them. Willow loved to spend her days under every blade of grass and rock at Dogwood Pond. My, you sure are curious, Beaver McBeaver said to her one day as he watched her exploring the pond. I want to be a detective when I grow up, she told him, and solve mysteries, lots and lots of mysteries. A detective? Her father exclaimed, smiling broadly and showing off his long front teeth. That's a big dream for a little duck. That made Willow feel sad because it made her feel small, and nobody wants to feel small. Her father noticed he was a very good father and didn't want his daughter to be sad. On the other hand, it's good to have a goal, he added quickly. And if you really want to become a duck detective, your curiosity will come in very handy. It can lead you to great adventures. Just hearing the word adventure gave Willow hope. It made her heart race with excitement. She loved to explore. She loved to collect hidden treasures. And most of all, she loved to use her smart duck brain to solve problems. As the sun rose high in the sky, Beaver McBeaver went off to collect more sticks for his dam. A beaver's work was never done. Willow fluffed her feathers and waddled off to find an adventure. She started with her best friend, Sal. I'm looking for a mystery to solve, she said to him. You're just like Detective Decto, Sal told her, shooting out his tongue to catch a fly. He missed, as usual. Sal was a black salamander with yellow spots who loved to read comic books. He was a better reader than a hunter. Every morning, he would lie under a pile of damp leaves and read scraps of comic books that children had left behind at the nearby campground. When the scraps got too soggy to read, he didn't mind. He used them as washcloths. He liked to keep his yellow spotted face mud-free. Oh, I wish I could be a real detective, Willow said. But I'm just a little duck. I could never be as brave or as smart as Detective Detecto. You can do anything you want, Sal told her, pointing one toe right at her face. Look at me. I'm a salamander, and I can read. Show me another salamander who can do that. Willow nodded, but deep down she didn't really believe Sal. It's easy to say you can do whatever you want, she thought, but it's hard to actually do it. A mosquito swooped down from the trees and buzzed right by them. "Oh, there's my lunch," Sal said. "Gotta go." He scurried after the mosquito and disappeared into the ferns. Willow went over to her secret hiding place, a shady spot hidden in the reeds. She took out her stuff box, which she kept hidden behind a moss-covered rock. Sitting down on the bank of the pond, she sorted all the stuff she kept in her stuff box. "Oh, look, here's the red ribbon I found hanging on the dogwood tree," she said. She took the ribbon from the box and made herself a little ponytail. "And here's that spoon I found in the waterfall. If humans had a bill like mine, they wouldn't mind. They wouldn't have to scoop up their food with this silly thing." Suddenly, Willow heard a rustling in the plants behind her. She turned around and saw the tip of a long black tail poking out from the patch of green ferns. She knew who that tail belonged to. It was Snout, the weasel. Snout lived in the nearby woods, and he was a sneaky, tricky, mean, no-good thief. He was always looking for a chance to pounce on Willow and steal something from her stuff box. Willow searched her box and grabbed a rubber band she had found. Putting one end in her bill and the other end around her webbed foot, she aimed the rubber band right at Snout's tail and let it fly. It shot through the air like a rocket. Zoom, whoosh, snap. "Ow!" yelped Snout. "There's more where that came from, you thief!" Willow shouted. She made her voice sound brave, but underneath she felt as shaky as a feather in a windstorm. "I'll be back, you silly duck!" he yelled as he tucked his tail between his legs and ran. Just then, Willow heard a noise. It was loud and booming like thunder or a giant tree falling. Thumpity, thumpity, crash, boom, bang! That noise was much louder than anything Angry Weasel could make. Willow was so frightened she couldn't even quack. She turned her head and saw a huge black object rolling toward the pond, and it was heading right towards her.